Oh, one other comment here. We can't actually go ahead and use the product rule here because it would be plugging in your 0. It would be 0 times the sine of 1 over 0, which is undefined. So it would be 0 times undefined, which is meaningless. Here's your basic trig limit on the left. Have it memorized. Here's another limit on the right that you need to have memorized. We're going to be using these to be able to work out our problems. So we're going to start off with this, the sine of 3x over x. To try to use your basic trig limit right up here, what's after your sine right there has to be the same as what's underneath in the bottom of the fraction. So we don't have that here. We have a 3 after our x. So to be able to try to use any basic trig limits, we've got to have a 3 after the x in the bottom. So I can put a 3 there. But if I multiply the bottom by 3, I then got to also multiply the top by 3. So I have 3 times my limit. Now, to technically use my basic trig limit, I can only have one thing here, not necessarily a 3 in front of it. So I'm going to let y represent 3x. So on the top, instead of having the tangent of 3x, I'll have the tangent of y. And remember, tangent is sine over cosine. So I'd have the sine of y over the cosine of y, replacing my 3x in the bottom with y. And then my top would just be 1 here because remember my cosine's on the bottom. Here, the first part's just my basic trig limit. So it'd be 3 times my basic trig limit, which ends up being just 3 times 1. Now, when I'm looking at evaluating the last part, all I have to do is just plug in 0 because the cosine of 0 is 1. So it'd be 1 over 1, so I get 1. So it'd be 3 times 1 times 1, so I get a limit of 3. Go ahead and try the next one and pause the video. So we're going to use a very similar approach here. We're going to break it up in terms of sines and cosines because we want to use our basic trig limit. You know that tangent is sine over cosine. We still have our x on the bottom. We'd have a 1 on the top over there. Apply the limit to each fraction. Evaluate each fraction. Your first one's your basic trig limit. Your second one, you can actually just go ahead and plug in 0 and you get 1. So you get 1 times 1, which is 1.